The expansion of intellect, the expansion of mind, the expansion of consciousness. Your mind is like a clear blue sky, extending infinitely in every direction. And through the sky pass clouds. The clouds are not the sky. And through the mind pass words. The words are not the mind. You are deeper, you are beyond that. You approach the infinite, because there is infinity to the power of infinity. I welcome you.
Two things, these two revolutions. First, that space-time, matter, energy aren't absolute. There's no fixed material world, physical world, which was one of the great shocks. And the second thing is that consciousness, observation, knowing play a crucial role in it somehow. So firstly, the laws of physics are still valid. Everything we've discovered about the world is still valid. I want to put that up as a big banner. Do not worry. We're not changing anything that we've discovered. But we have to change what we think about them. We assume that they're the laws of the unfolding of the physical world of space, time, and matter, but really they're the laws of the unfolding of consciousness.
The rules follow laws of relativity, and the rules of chess apply on the chessboard, but not off the chessboard. And the different rules of science apply relative to their use and condition and perception of consciousness as measured.
What if the use of our five senses has limited our understanding to the true nature of reality? What if our Creator doesn't exist above us, but exists within us?
If you have a golf ball-sized consciousness, when you read a book, you'll have a golf ball-sized understanding. When you look out, a golf ball-sized awareness. And when you wake up in the morning, a golf ball-sized wakefulness. But if you could expand that consciousness, then you read the book, more understanding. You look out, more awareness. And when you wake up, more wakefulness. It's consciousness. And there's an ocean of pure, vibrant consciousness inside each one of us.
Imagine if humanity itself was actually God, dividing itself into particles of experiences through the multitude of minds, individuals, and lives that have existed. What if we are God's version of the five senses?
And the reason is because everywhere we look, everywhere that consciousness explores with the expectation that something will be there, that exploration, that act of looking, observation, is the act that creates something for us to see. That we are actually building this universe as we go.
If you switch your brain off and you are sucked into the mainstream media illusion, we must understand that we are being used because we create reality. So if we are manipulated in a certain way, and if we are modulated in a certain way, then our creation becomes not ours but somebody else's.
I think it is really important for the humans, the general humans, to become more and more inner self-managed. First step is to really learning and appreciating meditation, so you can reduce the noise level inside. Second thing, when that's accomplished, is to really start to play with your own internal energies. That gets into practices like Qigong. And that, then you now have a quiet inside, you now have ways to enhance your energy. Now what you need are biofeedback devices, so you can build your inner capacity.
But we're actually living in a virtual reality created by the brain. What we know is that the world out there, whatever it is, and we'll look at that in a moment, gets processed by the brain, and we have this experience of seeing, hearing, tasting, touching the world out there.
We don't have direct experience of the outside world. We have an experience of a reality that we create inside the brain based on our perceptions.
And so as well as being an information processor, we can say the brain is actually a reality generator, continually generating experience for us. So I want to look at a couple of things. First of all, what do we mean by reality? Because we use reality in two senses. Either there's the physical reality, the world out there, the world you're seeing now, or so it seems, and then there's the experience reality that appears in consciousness. And that's what you're actually experiencing, is not the room out there. You're experiencing what appears in consciousness. And what we're experiencing is like a map of the world. And you've often heard this idea that the map is not the territory. In fact, they're usually totally different. If you look at a map of, a country or something, you see, green lines representing something, blue lines are certain roads, red roads are other roads. You go there, and you say, well, hang on, the roads aren't red, they all seem to be a sort of grey colour. It's like, no, the map is very different. The map is a representation. And it's like we live inside the map that we make of the world. They looked at the 25 unanswered questions of modern science. And number one was, what is the universe made of? And the answer is, today we have absolutely no idea.
Well, we've answered that question, what the universe is made of. It's infinity to the power of infinity. Thereby, there is energy in a vast, infinite cycle, infinitesimal cycle, cycling throughout the world. And even where we think that there is nothing, there actually is something in the form of virtual particles. That does not mean that the entire infinity to the power of infinity is homogeneous. It might be a little bit different, more concentrated here, less concentrated there. But infinity to the power of infinity will mean that that is what the universe is made up of infinity. And we see that the revolution of physics, of E equals mc squared, and space and time and the relative nature, and that these things are still rules in our checkerboard that we play here. Yes, in our universe we have this type of checkerboard that is for us, that allows us to see things, whether they're upside down, allows us to have some degree of predictability. Not incredible predictability, there still is an uncertainty principle. There is an entwinement procedure, there's a connection of everything. These constitute rules on our chessboard. And scientists have found that there's awareness, consciousness in animals, but there's even more. Consciousness extends to other places.
And you have to then go down to matter and say, you cannot draw the line anywhere. So in that sense, consciousness is in everything. And if you take that position, then you say, well, there's no line between an atom and the quantum field that seems to be manifesting as an atom. And you have to say it goes all the way into the nothingness, into the no-thingness. The awareness has to go all the way down. It's not something that appears in evolution. It's something which was pre-existing.
So everything has some type of variant form of consciousness as we experience it. And everything has this experience in our infinity to the power of infinity world, where consciousness actually does play a very deep part. But consciousness is not all of the universe. There is energy states entwined with the consciousness that operate independently at times, but together most of the time. Our bodies are made of vast quantities of atoms with electrons on the outside so that they don't touch. And the real truth of what we are is an illusion. But it's a very persistent illusion that we get swept up in because there are rules on our checkerboard that we must obey in life. There are life's checkerboard rules. And sometimes we cling to illusion.
Consciousness is an amorphous and expanding entity. I think that we allow our consciousness to be prohibited by our senses, prescribed by our senses, living in the realm of these 5 apertures into our reality. But reality is limitless, space is infinite, time eternal. Through yoga, one can temporarily break the bonds that chain us to the mundane, the mondial, that which is of the earth, and we can temporarily at least, receive a taste of the infinite.
And people who can cut free from the illusion are often really harassed by mediocre minds. But these are the ideas that you need to share.
What have you lost? What did I take from you? Write it. Yeah. Congratulations.
People need to live spiritual lives, all of us. I'm a person, and it's good to have access to the infinite consciousness that is available to all people, but through the five senses is delineated, keeping us trapped on a material plane.
You are conscious because you're watching this. But now you need to expand your consciousness. Your consciousness is not your conscious. Your consciousness is the quality of how you interpret the universe around you. Are you bound by the limits of the senses? Or can you expand your mind and see the infinite in every moment? Expand your mind. As you expand your mind, your consciousness will expand. And the powers of your life will expand. As you will have less suffering and more power. And as you find a way to do this, you need to find a way to expand your caring, your daring, and your sharing. Share this video with others.
I want you to listen. Then what? Share it. With? Whoever you share with. Whoever you know, the people you're close to.